Hey, we're
There we
there.
go, George.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're live.
All right. You're the
It's,
host. You do all the good evening stuff.
it's Friday night at 8 o'clock. It's me and George tonight talking some tech. Mike is on vacation. He might stop through though if he gets some time. I'm Will, and we got George with us tonight. What's up, George?
Just me, Mobile Geezer, folks. You know me. You know where to follow me: Facebook, Google Plus, Twitter, Instagram, and of course my website is mobilegeezer.wordpress.com. And this is say congratulations. This is the first night.
This is my inaugural stream, right?
That's right. We're broadcasting from Will's channel tonight. So Will is in charge. He is the boss.
Yeah.
In other words, you the man.
Yeah, you schooled me a little bit, George. You got me doing it.
Just a tiny bit.
Yeah, you got me though. You and Mike got me into it, so I'm on now.
So we got Miss Lisa in here. We got Six Louise. And Six Louise says, "Damn, you all quick."
Yeah. So what's going on,
not
George?
bad for a guy who's new at it and an old timer.
Yeah, right. So yeah, we ain't got Adam behind the board like Mike.
That's true. Yeah. I'm working on learning my OBS, and I'm pretty close to ordering the board. So in another week or two, I may be trying to run after Adam and be fancy.
When you say the board, you mean that little stream deck, right?
Yes, the stream deck. Yes.
Ah, okay. All right. See, I'm learning. I think it's pretty cool what Adam got.
Yeah, I've got my wife helps me practice with my OBS, and I think I've got almost everything right, but I'm not good enough at it yet to do a stream. So we'll see. But as soon as I can, I'll be ordering that stream deck.
Yeah, I hear you. They're expensive?
No, they're $139.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
So George, you been following the news this week?
Well, yeah, but I'm going to let you tell the stories and go down the list. And as you go through them,
I guess we should start with the first one. The Newt has come and landed pretty much for just about everybody who pre-ordered it, I think. Yeah. The official, I think, release date is today, 24th. I know a lot of people in Team 100 chat, they got it already.
That's right.
I picked one up, even though I said I wouldn't, George.
Okay, yeah. And you remember, folks, I said all along, yes, you would.
Yeah, I picked one up. I don't know if I'm going to keep it, though.
Tell us why you picked one up.
I don't know, man. It was a deal, George. They had them on. I got the first one that was on sale on Swapper. They had it listed on there. It was the 128, 6 gigs of RAM, the blue color. He listed it for $909, unopened. It was a resale. So I saved about $140 off the Samsung price. So it'll be here tomorrow. But I don't know if I'm going to keep it, though. I'm still thinking it over.
Now, since you bought it off Swapper, can you just return it?
Well, no, you can't. You know, I'm buying it from him. I can't return it. He sent me a copy of the sales receipt and all that. But I mean, I could sell it again.
Yeah,
there's a whole bunch of them. There's a whole bunch of them listed on there. But I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I gotta see, because once I open it, I can't sell it as a resale. I gotta sell it as mint. So I'll lose some money. But for what I paid for it, I mean, I don't know. I might keep it. I don't know.
Well, let's hope you open it up and love it.
Yeah, I mean, I know what I'm getting. And the Pixel don't have me too excited this year, so I'm thinking that might be my big purchase. But I don't know.
And you know what I'm going to say to you not buying a Pixel, right? Yeah, good luck with that.
I know. You know me. I always say I'm not going to get it, but I always do it. I don't know. It got me a little disappointed. I seen a guy on Twitter, Nick Ackerman, was saying his camera kept freezing. And Forbes, even though he's in Texas, is hot. But Forbes Tech from Team 100, his overheated when he was using the camera. Yeah.
Yeah. Forbes is he's in San Antonio, so he's pretty far down there.
Yeah, I know it's hot, but man, come on. But yeah, everybody on Team 100, they're liking it. So I don't know. I might open it up and play with it.
Well, you'll be the guy that has it on our team.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's still just an S9 Plus for me with a pen, but I don't know. We'll see. I did like the camera. I like the camera on the S9. Samsung Pay. So it does got some stuff. I already have the Gear S3. So.
Right. And at least our team leader will have it. That's good.
Yeah, well, we got to get you an iPhone, George. That's what's making me wonder if I'm gonna keep it, because I've been using the iPhone so much, and I've been liking it. So
That's what's stopping me from buying anything at the moment. Because every time I see something I want to buy, and I can afford it with $200 to $300 range, I'm like, well, maybe if we're gonna end up doing a BOGO for an iPhone, I better hold off.
Yeah, we gotta find you an iPhone. But
yeah, you gotta get me that BOGO deal with Mike so we can just split the money down the middle.
No, we gotta do it, and then we gotta get Mike off of the Jump program. That's what we gotta do.
Yeah, and it's gotta be T-Mobile, because I'm nothing but T-Mobile.
Yeah, well, Mike ain't leaving T-Mobile. I don't think anyway. Yeah, you see, when they come with the OnePlus 6, we'll see. We'll see where they're at then.
What do you mean the OnePlus 6?
The OnePlus 6T, you know what I mean?
Oh, the 6T, yeah. The 6T it's a definite for me. That's why I didn't buy the OnePlus 6, because I said I'm going to wait for the 6T.
They might get Google a little worried when they put that on T-Mobile, because that'll be a stock experience for half the pixels.
I'm hoping they're successful having T-Mobile as a carrier, because that's supposed to be the break-in thing for any Chinese manufacturer. So, and it seems like the last couple of years that OnePlus has kind of, made their plans work nicely, and they really seem to be getting to know what they're doing.
Yeah, we got to see what they come with as the price goes up, though.
That's true.
That's gonna be the thing. A lot of people are waiting for them to do something with the screen. Wireless charging.
Yeah, wireless charging. Every year, even though they have the fastest charger on earth, people complain about them not having wireless charging.
That's one phone I wouldn't worry about wireless charging, because the charging,
me neither.
the wire is so fast that who needs.
And I'm just like Jay Will. I've got wireless chargers. I never use them.
Yeah, see. I mean, I use mine sometimes with the iPhone, sometimes with Samsung, but I'd rather plug it in because it's faster. I don't got time,
Right.
The charge rate is so slow with the wireless that it's not.
Yeah, I think Jay will tell me he has a fast charge wireless charger, and he said it's still slow.
Yeah, that's what I got. I got 2 of them from Samsung, and it's still slow. It's not fast enough to make me not rather plug my phone in. I'd rather just plug it in.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're out somewhere and they got it like on the table to use it while you're sitting down eating or whatever, I can see, but not when I'm home. Yeah,
if you're at Starbucks, it makes sense. If you're at IKEA, it makes sense.
Yeah, but if I'm home, I'd rather have it charged as fast as I can. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, let's get into some of these topics we got tonight, George. We got, I guess we could start with the Pixel.
Yeah.
See the big leak with the Pixel. What do you think, George? I think it's looking kind of bad for Google right now.
I still think it's ugly. I'm pulling up the article that you sent me as we speak. Going down, it seems like the general consensus is that this is one ugly phone.
Yeah, it is ugly.
Of course, we've heard that before, and everybody went out and bought it.
Yeah, but the 2XL was beautiful compared to this thing, even with the little bezel or the chin or whatever and all. And it was great compared to what this thing looks like. People are actually hoping, like they were last year, that Google is lying and they're gonna come with another phone. I remember last year it got so big that Google actually made fun of it on stage and had a thing where it was like ultra pixel announcement in 3 minutes or something like that, or meeting. The people are hoping that this year that's what they're gonna do again. They're not doing it. That's the phone.
But people were hoping they weren't coming out with but they did come out with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is the phone that keeps leaking. That's it. That's what Google. That's what they're banking
100%. Yeah,
that's what they're banking on. I don't even like I'm glad they're putting headphones in the box, but I don't even like the earphones.
Yeah.
That's like too little, too late, because they were selling them on their website. I think for $130, something like that. Those
exactly.
USB.
Yeah.
And now they're
at least this one supposedly is coming with earphones.
Yeah.
I hope. I'm looking at the article now,
Yeah, I'm looking at the chat.
And
Gary Brown said he hopes that the Pixel 3 XL leaks are false too. Everybody's hoping they're false, but they seem like that's it.
yeah, my chat hasn't. My chat has not updated. Oh, here it goes. Okay, I had to get out of it and come back in.
Okay.
Yeah, and Gary, I wouldn't hold my breath. I think those leaks are generally real. And this article said there's a leak today from a Russian website, Mobile Review, and they published a first look in using a prototype model. And they say it's very similar to the ones we've already seen. So I'm thinking what you're seeing is what we're going to get.
Yeah, I know. And they even went into the software. Said the camera software changed a little bit.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now.
It's pretty much looks like the same phone. The front camera is supposed to have a wide angle for selfies and some kind of improved portrait mode, but that's not going to be
also on the front camera.
Yeah, and they're still going with.
It says here, portrait mode now allows you to choose between natural and soft face retouching, in addition to toggling off altogether. A new Google Lens suggestions mode is featured, and the rear camera is confirmed to be 12.2 megapixel, while the front is 8 megapixel. For whatever reason, only one front-facing camera is mentioned in the app, despite the Pixel 3 XL clearly having two. So, but it does say the earbuds are included.
Yeah, they're not. That's. I might still get it, but I won't be happy buying it because they're still going with one camera on the back, and unless they pull a Samsung and have some kind of zoom lens or wide angle on the back or something, it's just too. It's too basic.
But we hear that every year too, don't we?
Yeah, but this year there's a lot of competition. If I'm gonna spend $1,000, well, I already got the Note, but if I'm gonna spend $1,000, I might as well buy the Note.
Yeah, and see, everybody knows I'm not spending that kind of money.
Yeah, but look, George, there's no wire. Well, they're saying this year it might have wireless charging, but there's no regular headphone jack.
Right.
It's like it's missing too much. There's no special nothing to it. There's no pen. That's why I can't understand why they're making the phone so big. Why would you make a phone 6 inches the screen and it's running stock Android? Like there's nothing. You're not getting nothing extra out of all that screen except for more. Yeah, all you're getting is more screen.
Exactly.
It's kind of like the iPhone. They're going to make the iPhone bigger, and I guess besides a bigger battery. And there's rumors that you can use the pencil with it, but what are you really getting? Just a bigger,
Yeah, that's all you're getting, But I mean, isn't Google selling the Pixel basically for the purists for pure Android?
Yeah, I guess there must not be that many of them out there because I don't think they sell that well.
But you're right about the competition because if you want pure Android, you can buy the Essential for a heck of a lot cheaper.
Oh, there goes Pat. They're in Virginia, I guess.
Oh, okay. There's Patricia. Okay. Yeah. So that means Mike must be listening to us, is my guess.
He's somewhere.
Probably listening and driving.
Yeah, see Gary Brown say he'll stay with his Pixel 2.
We can't see you, Mike, but we know you're there.
Yeah, Gary Brown said he'll stay with his Pixel 2. So I hear him there, it looks better, and just for the selfie camera upgrade, it don't seem like it's worth it, but we'll see, I guess. Like I always say, I'm not gonna get it until it comes out. Then I'm buying it.
You are very consistent, I have to say that.
But let me see what else we got. Okay, we got HTC, George. They're supposed to be bringing out a phone.
Well, wait, before we leave the Pixel, I pulled up that story. You mentioned the guy who's selling the Pixel 3 XL units for $2,000.
Oh, yeah. You're not in the market for one, George?
Yeah.
You don't want to get it early?
You're talking to the guy who won't spend $1,000 for a phone.
Yeah.
But this is on GSM Arena, and it says, earlier today, we saw full high-res leaks of the Google Pixel 3 SL, including a full unboxing, video camera samples, and proof, let's check this, that the phone has wireless charging capabilities. So a new report from 9 to 5 Google, source of these leaks, a Ukrainian Telegram user that is selling these possibly stolen near final Google Pixel devices, and
You
he's
know,
asking $2,000.
you know what I would wonder though. Let's say you were to buy one. I would
Right?
think Google is going to blacklist those IMEIs, so you might not even get no update.
That's what I would do if I were Google.
Yeah, I'd be, there would be no way I would buy that because
Yeah,
once the phone releases, they're gonna. Well, if Google's
yeah,
smart, they would blacklist them so that nobody can make a profit.
exactly. Now this guy is advertising this on a Telegram account. He even has his name on the account, and he's associated with some blogging entity called Weislacom Media, and they're the ones who have put out earlier leaks. And it says available on stock in England, limited amounts. So if there's anybody dumb enough to send this guy $2,000, I guess they can.
They want to send him 2,000. They could send me some money too.
Exactly.
I'll sell them a phone. I got
Yeah,
the
send me
before.
$2,000. I'll get you two pixels.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
All
that's
right, let's move on to the HTC. You that I so rudely interrupted.
yeah. HTC's got a phone coming out. There's not really much about it, but I don't know. I haven't been really keeping up with HTC too much. I thought they were dead in the water like 6
Well, the
months ago.
problem is nobody's been keeping up with HTC too much. That's the problem.
Yeah, so I wonder what they're coming with. But I know some people like it, like the U11. You got the U11, right?
Yes, and which I love it. I picked that as my phone of the year, just like a whole lot of other guys did last year. You know, but now this article says we'll announce a new U phone on August 30th. And last year they came out around this time with the U11 Life. So
You think it's gonna be one of those?
yeah, I'm guessing that's probably so. This is an Android Central article, and they're suspecting it might be the U12 Life. But I gather HTC has provided zero information other than saying they're going to announce something on the 30th.
I guess we'll see. What's that? A week away? Less than a week?
Yeah, that's 6 days away at this point. Yeah, it's next Thursday.
The U11 Life. How much was that when it was released?
I don't remember. I remember Jay Will bought it. A few other guys bought it. I did not get it. It seems to me it was like $300 or $400, wasn't it? I'm thinking.
So it's like a mid range. It might. I mean, if they get some advertising, maybe it'll sell. But I don't know though, because you got what's that phone? The Poco phone, and there's a lot of
Right.
phones now. There's a lot of cheaper phones that are coming out. People are saying they're good. So.
Yeah. Do you mind if I mention this phone I told you about that I found on
yeah. Go ahead, because I didn't never heard of it.
Yeah, this came from an email I got from Geek Buying yesterday. So this is from a company I never heard of. The phone is called the Blackview BV9500. It's it's a super rugged phone. It's 5.7 inches, 4G LTE. It's got a MediaTek Helio P23 processor. I've never had a MediaTek processor, but this thing sounds awfully good. 4 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes, 2 dual 16 megapixel rear cameras. And I kept checking the bands yesterday when I first saw this, and it looks like it has almost all of the standard US bands. There's one T-Mobile band that it doesn't have, but it looks to me like it would work on AT&T and T-Mobile just fine. And it's only $279. I'm thinking that's a pre-order price, or because they have $423.99 crossed out. So I'm looking at it on Geek Buying's website. So it says ends in 3 days and 9 hours. Now, 2 days ago when I first saw it, it said it was ending the next day. So I guess they extended the offer. But if you look up the Blackview BV 9500, you'll see some specs that look awfully good to me, and it looks to me like it'll. Oh, and it has a 10,000 milliamp battery. So, you know.
I'd be scared to walk around with that in my pocket.
Well, the thing is, if you drop it, I gather it's not going to matter because this is like what's the Samsung rugged phone every year that they're not doing this year?
What's it called?
Yeah,
it's Samsung Active.
Active, yeah. Well, this look like it's that kind of tough. You know,
that sounds like one of those. What was that? Nextel used to make the yellow phones with Nextel,
exactly,
for the construction workers.
And when you look at the picture of it looks like a rugged phone, but it's not a bad looking phone. It's better looking than the Samsung Actives that I've seen.
Them Actives are terrible. My cousin has looking. They're terrible.
But you know, like Jaime Rivera, Pocket Now, he bought that phone every single year. He loved that phone. You know, so I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility if it still stays at 279 that I wouldn't get that. It just looks awfully interesting to me. It's the Blackview BV 9500, and they have a bunch of Blackview phones, but that 9500 is the only one with these specs. So
yeah, see, you're not really too concerned with the software, because I was going to say you got to see what it's going to be running when it releases. That's why I would be scared to buy something like.
Oh, it's running Android 8.1.
All right, that's why I would be scared for me to buy like the red phone, because I would think that phone's going to come out on like 7.0 or something. You know what I mean?
No, okay. Well, the red, I wouldn't, but they've had so much hype about the red phone. I think they wouldn't be dumb enough to come up with something that old. I don't think.
I don't know. You never know.
We got Alan in here from Phone Tech at Work.
Yeah. You never know. But I don't know. I'm gonna follow you, George, and see when you pick it up, because I know you love testing those phones that are less known.
I forgot to mention Kirk Fontaine is in here too. Welcome, Kirk. All right, so now let's go on to your next one, which is
what else we got? What else? HTC, the T-Mobile data hack.
But we haven't finished with HTC, because you wrote in the email, what do you think HTC is bringing? We discussed that, and what you said was, and will it matter?
Yeah.
And that's the key point, because, you know, Jay Will and a number of other people said the U12 is a good phone. Pretty much everybody agrees it's a little overpriced, but it seems like last year and a half, no matter what HTC comes out with, nobody cares.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't think it'll matter to the regular, the regular buyer, but
exactly,
some people on YouTube, they're gonna, like Jay Will, maybe Flossie.
Yeah.
You know,
some of Team 100, you know that, right, Alan?
Yeah, Team 100. Yeah, they'll be on it, but the regular person, I don't think it's gonna help HTC's getting out of the red or whatever they're in right now, because
they've been in the red, and I don't think they're coming out anytime soon. You know, I mean, I hope for them, but what's particularly sad about HTC is they used to be the one on top. You know, you go back 8-9 years, HTC was
it. I'll never forget. I had I think it was the M8, M7, M8. One of them was I think it was aluminum. It was like all metal. Oh, I love that.
And people loved the M7 and the M8.
Yeah.
That's only what, 5 years ago?
Yeah, it's not that long ago. But I love that phone. That phone was nice. Yeah. I think that was my first Android phone, maybe, or second Android phone. I know I had the Samsung. I don't remember if that was before or after the S3 and the S4, because I had those too, the Samsung.
Right.
And I know I had the HTC. I like that phone. I don't even think I did use a case. I had an OtterBox for a little bit, but
okay. But you couldn't run into anybody that had an M8 that didn't love it. And not this week, but last week, I had a customer for Enterprise. She was still carrying her M8, and she still loved her M8. So that's just a lot, you know.
And back then, we didn't have fast charging. We didn't have none of that.
Exactly. But they have fallen a long, long way. It's just sad, you know.
Their announcement seems like to me, I remember, was it like a month ago maybe, or the beginning of
Yeah,
the month maybe, when Motorola said, "Oh, we're going to change the industry with our announcement," and all they came out with was what is it, the Moto Z3 is it?
the
With the
Z30.
Verizon, with
Yeah,
the 5G or whatever. They made the
right. Yeah.
announcement, and then it was just that was it. That was the last I heard of it.
Well, it was they made the announcement and everybody kind of shrugged and walked away. That's my impression. You know,
Yeah, nobody cared.
well, because since there is no 5G yet, and we may see it next year, and we may see it the following year instead. So it's hard to get excited about something that's still that far away. You know, even though the capability is already there. You know,
Yeah, but they're saying it's only going to work in certain cities and all. Like, I mean,
exactly.
I wouldn't put all my 2 year contract or whatever into buying a phone that might not even work where I'm. You know what I mean? Where I live at.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, and
don't
like,
make
okay,
sense.
but at least you live close to Philly. I wouldn't be holding my breath for it to come to Chattanooga.
Yeah, you ain't gonna have 5G for a while, but
Exactly.
at least you got fiber though, Google and all.
That's true. We got one of the
So
best
we ain't
fibers in
got
the
that.
world. That's true.
We live near Philly and don't got no fiber, so
Yeah, it's true.
I'm stuck with Comcast.
Yeah.
What do you?
Six Louis says his M8 was his first HTC flagship. It was Boss. Then my M9 came with the overheating and something of the kind, and then HT started to drop. And I agree with 100% because the M9 is where HTC started really screwing up, and people started really looking somewhere else. You know.
I think that must have been because I didn't get the M9. I must have went
Yeah.
to Samsung after the M8.
Yeah,
I must have
and the
moved to
M9 took a
Samsung.
lot of criticism from a lot of places. I remember that.
Yeah, Samsung.
Anyway, let's go on to your next story.
I got one that's not even on there, George, and I don't know how I missed it. You see,
Okay, go ahead.
ZTE is coming with a what is that? Axon 9.
The Axon 9 and the Axon 9 Plus. That's right.
That was y'all phone of the year, I think, a couple of years ago. Right? Y'all love that
It was
phone.
the Axon
The
7. Yeah, we
speakers,
all, and I still have mine. Most of us still have it. I need to go look that
love that
up, see if I can find Axon 9 because I was reading two stories on the Axon 9 and 9 Plus yesterday. And that is also being announced on the 30th of this month. So from Berlin. So
Mike loved the speakers on that phone. He was
so
raging
did
about
I.
how good the speakers were.
So did I. And to this day, matter of fact, when I got the Galaxy S9, the first phone I did a speaker comparison with was the Axon 7 because it's still one of the best. And I think the S9 was the very first phone to just barely beat it out in a sound test. You know.
And is this their first? They've released phones since then, but they just didn't do a follow up to the 7, right?
Right, and exactly, and we're all hoping that this Axon 9 or Axon 9 Pro is going to be that follow up. And somebody was it? Oh, it was Anthony from my Project 13. He had a long live stream about it yesterday, and he was showing the pictures of the renders very up close, and he was saying it didn't look to him like it had dual speakers. And we're all going to be really, really disappointed if that phone does not have dual speakers. Because in my mind, and I think a lot of people's mind in the US, that's what made ZTE in the US, those dual speakers. So if they don't have it, be interesting to see what they're coming with. You know.
Yeah, I knew that made Mike love it. And I never had a ZTE phone, but I remember the way he used to talk about it. I was like, I'll check out their next phone, but they didn't come with nothing. So,
Yeah.
not
Well, that
another
they
follow
had
up to
the
that.
Axon M, which was the folding phone. You know.
Yeah, I wasn't buying that tricky
Now,
rap.
now what I don't have it where I can see myself with the screen right now because I'm looking at what am I wearing all day today? The
What is that?
ZTE
Your ZTE
Sports.
watch?
It's still my favorite watch, my favorite Android Wear watch. Now I got the article up, and So now this will be the first phone release since ZTE is coming back from its problems with the government, in the U.S. And they've got everything straightened out. So I would expect that they're going to try to make this a big deal in the United States, and I hope they do. And I hope they're very successful. But everybody's kind of wondering, what's the Axon 9 going to have? Because all we really have is a picture, and that's about it.
Yeah, they got to get some hype behind them again, because that was a big mess they went through with.
Yeah. Now, of course, with the Axon 7, what made it was a word of mouth phone. We were all crazy about it, and we all talked about it continuously. So I'm hoping that they're coming out with something that's going to cause us all to react the same way.
It was priced good too, though, wasn't it? That phone was priced good, I think.
Yes, that phone was up there in quality with the very close to the Samsung, to the Galaxies, but it was like $400 less, $300 or $400 less.
I think I remember seeing it for $379 or something.
Yeah, I think it was $400.
Yeah, that ain't bad.
So you couldn't beat it for the price, and it was a premium quality phone. So I'm hoping that the Axon 9 will be just as premium, but have that good price tag. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I know Kirk in the room, Kirk Fontaine. I got him a deal on a OnePlus 6, and he's loving it. And he's like a diehard Samsung user, so it's getting rough for these expensive phones. I know that.
Yeah.
But, paying
Six Louise says I gave my mom the Axon 7 Mini, and she loves it. So good for her.
You went with that. Oh man!
Looking at some of the other comments.
Six Louis said he was gonna get the Axon 7, but he went with the Note 7, and we know what happened there.
Yeah, exactly. You got an Axon 7.
Yeah, he would still have it.
We got Big Dog in the house. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. And then you see even a Blue phone. Did you see the article Mike had posted with
No.
Blue had posted on Twitter maybe beginning of the week or the end of last week that they were trying to correct their mistakes, and they got a new phone coming out. I forget what it's called, but it's going to be like 128 gigs of storage, SD card support, 6 gigs of RAM, and they're going to focus on like the one phone so that they can update it. And so we'll see what they come with too.
Have you ever had a Blue phone?
No.
And neither have I. Every time I've seen a Blue phone, it always struck me as really lacking. And I just cannot see spending my money on a Blue phone. Now, maybe they'll come out with something that I consider quality one day. I have yet to see it. And keep in mind, all those early Blue phones, I don't know about now, but they all had that MediaTek processor. And if you go back a little bit, the MediaTek processor was nothing to write home about, Okay. I gather the newer MediaTek processors are good.
I know they always would come with. I know they had one. I think it was called the Blue Energy XL or something like that. It had like a real big battery in it.
Yep. All right. So since you interrupted yourself with the Axon 9,
you don't got no picture, George.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it back now.
Okay.
Did it come back? It didn't come back yet. What is wrong here? Doesn't seem like I can get my picture back. That's weird. Oh, there it is.
There you go.
I think my computer's running slow for some. I probably should have restarted before we started. All right, let's go on to your next story, which is the T-Mobile hack.
Yeah, that's all you, George. I read a little bit of it, and I saw they said that if they didn't send you a text message, I guess it doesn't affect you.
Right, and I haven't gotten a text message yet. But yeah, the story says, let me get down here a little bit. Some 2 million of its customers are affected, and which is a 3%, I think, of its 77 million customers. And compromised information includes names, zip codes, phone numbers, email addresses, account numbers. That's one worrying thing, but it doesn't affect, no credit card information was gotten. And this was a hack from overseas. They didn't say where the hack came from. And at the bottom of the story, it says if the company says that if customers don't receive a text message shortly, they were not affected, but you can call 611 and find out for sure if you're concerned. To me, the worst thing about it is I'm looking for the date. Yeah, it was the 20th that this hack happened, and they didn't let anybody know about it until yesterday. Which, come on, guys, 3 days and you say nothing that 2 million people got hacked?
Yeah, I guess they probably were trying to do damage control and figure if they even had to say anything.
Yeah, and my problem, and I love my T-Mobile, but my problem with all these companies trying to do damage control, which is holding up, letting people know there's a problem, is while you're doing the damage control, other bad stuff could be happening and you're not telling anybody, I just think that's a bad way to do things. And I'm usually very complimentary at T-Mobile, but not on this one,
Yeah, it's not a good look when you get hacked. But it's been going around. I mean, this is crazy. This year has been a lot of that.
It's been just happening to everybody. Yeah, and Google got shut down for all day a couple of months ago on all the Google Homes.
Yeah, the Google Homes went out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was it? The Amazon Echoes were laughing, was it?
Right. Yeah, and it seems like, I don't care how big or powerful a company you are, they can get to you somehow, And it's almost like they take turns in going after the big names,
Yeah, they're getting everybody. Everybody who thinks they're too big to get touched, I guess they're getting them all.
Yeah. Well, I don't necessarily think that they think they're too big to get touched, but that's what they want the public to think. You can count on that.
Yeah. Well, Apple, that's their big thing. We're so secure, and they had a teenage boy who was.
Yep. Who was the kid in Australia or New Zealand, was it?
Oh wow! Look at that in the room. Munchie said, "Big Dog's info was stolen." I thought he was playing. He said he's not joking.
No, he did get a text. Oh, so Big Dog got a text from T-Mobile. So I guess they're letting you know. Okay. Oh, well, thank God that no credit card information got out. But yeah, I guess I would think you could talk to them and change your account number and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's a terrible situation though to think, because once all they need is one bit of information, they went through and got everything.
But you know what it says to me, T-Mobile should and probably will do next. Somehow they were not able to get to the credit cards. Well, you need to put that same security on all the other stuff then.
Put it on everything, yeah. Because you would think when you're doing bill pay and all that, they'd be able to get your stuff.
Yeah, Don said amen to that, George. I assume he meant that wasn't a good look for holding stuff for 3 days.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they get it under control and it don't mess up too much people's stuff,
Exactly. So I have no text message from them, and I'm very happy about that.
So you're good.
This is the one time I tell T-Mobile, don't call me.
Right? You don't want to hear from them.
Exactly.
What else we got? Let me see. Did you see the article we got there, George, about the people switching between Android and iOS?
That was interesting. Now you take this one because you are much more knowledgeable in this than I am, and this does back up some of what you say.
Yeah, well, a lot of people, it seems like, switch back and forth. Let me see if I can get the article.
Yeah.
Let me say, a lot of people were switching. Well, some people switched which is pretty funny to me. Some people switched from Android to iOS for a better price, right. Which is
that's the thing that stuck out in that article. Who is switching to an iPhone for a better price? From what? From a $2,000 Pixel 3 or what?
Yeah, I know. Did they get their Pixel from the Ukraine? Yeah, right. Yeah. That's crazy. That's really crazy when you can buy a One Plus. There's no iPhone
Yeah.
cheaper than a One Plus. All right, let me see. I just pulled it up here, George. We got they surveyed about 2,500 people. 29% had switched mobile operating systems. 11% switched from iOS to Android, and 18% went from Android to iOS. So it looks like
Right.
Android is losing. I mean, Android is winning. No. Android's losing.
No,
My fault.
Andrew's losing.
Android's losing. Wow. Um, then they come up with the reasons behind the switches.
Right.
Looks like 29% of the people who switched from iOS to Android did so for better prices. Those
Exactly.
people went from iOS to Android, which makes sense.
And that makes sense to
11%,
me, better prices.
yeah,
But the 11, but yeah, read the next one.
yeah, 11% said they switched from Android to iOS for the same reason, which makes no sense.
Yeah, how
That
do you
makes
get a better? What phone could you possibly have had Android? Why is that an Apple phone is a better price?
Yeah, there isn't any unless you bought even the 5C. They don't sell it no more. I'm thinking the SE, if you got like a carrier deal, maybe would have been cheap, but
Or
you could still
if
get an
you
Android phone for seventy
yeah, I guess
dollars.
if you were buying an old, iPhone 6 or 6 Plus, maybe.
Munchie said the Lamborghini edition. Yeah,
Yeah, it
guess
had to
they got
be
the
what you're
Lamborghini
switching from.
edition
Yeah,
Android phone to make it more than an iPhone. But yeah,
yeah,
that's let me see. It says let me see. This was another part I thought was pretty interesting. The only other area where Android captured a lead was in customer service. Six
that's
percent
right.
of switchers from iOS to Android said they did so because of better customer service.
Yep,
I can't
yep.
believe that.
I
I
can,
can't.
I
How
can,
how how
because it
can you?
depends on which company, and if they're switching to Android, I would gotta think it's probably not all, but I'm thinking a lot of that's going to be Samsung. Well, I can
Yeah,
see
but
where they might have better customer service from Samsung.
no, no. You think Samsung's? They're saying that Samsung's got better customer service than than Apple. I can't
Yeah,
see
well,
that because
now, keep in mind, I'm not saying I know that it's Samsung. I'm just
yeah,
guessing,
I know. Yeah, but
but
even
I
any
would
of them.
think that would be the one that they could probably get that better service. I'm not sure.
But
You know,
even if we say, okay, to me, the best customer service I ever had on the Android, and I've had to deal with Samsung, Google, OnePlus. The best customer service I've had was with
yeah.
Google. But
Okay.
even with Google, let's say your phone breaks, you got
Right.
to wait days to get a phone. Like
Right.
I had to send in my phone and wait, you know what I mean, while they
Yeah.
sent me another phone.
Right.
At least with Apple, you can go to a store. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I
So
can't see
my guess
how.
is that means it can't be the getting a new phone because customer service. You're talking a wide swath of different
I
scenarios
guess,
here.
yeah. But what would you see? To me, with Android, okay, like most people, when you buy your Android phone, let's say, well, like you're saying, maybe it wasn't buying a new phone, getting a new phone,
Right.
but
I'm thinking one
that's
area might be where they had to adjust something on their bill. Well, maybe somebody on the Android
no,
side did
but
a better job with that.
yeah, but they're saying what I'm thinking they're saying is you bought a Samsung phone from AT&T versus an iPhone.
Right.
If you need service on your phone, you got to call Samsung or you got to call Apple. I can't
Yeah.
see how Samsung is going to have. I just can't see that
Well,
because
I
even
mean,
with
it might
Samsung,
not be Samsung. It might be somebody else. That just I just picked Samsung because they're the biggest. You
he said now they overnight you a phone. Yeah, see, like with um with Samsung or whoever, they'll put a hold on your credit card.
know? Right.
You know what I mean? Like Apple, you can go to the store, you get your phone that day. It might take you long. You might be there for an hour and a half, but
Right.
you'll leave with a phone.
Now,
You
who
know
is
what I
he
mean?
saying will overnight your phone? Android?
I'm thinking he means Google, maybe
I'm thinking
Google or
Google too, because I'm thinking I've read that in the past. You know,
yeah, to overnight you. Yeah,
and
because
that's
they
a
got a
pretty
whole
good deal.
bunch of.
They overnight your phone, put a hole in your credit card, and when you get the new one, you can return the old one. Well, I'm thinking a lot of people
No, okay,
might like that
he said
idea.
Google. Yeah, he
Yeah.
said Google. Yeah, because they
Yeah.
got a lot of
Okay.
RM-made phones. They can just they can just overnight you a phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got a lot of pixels
So that
with
could be
Google.
where the better customer service is coming from. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just thought it was pretty funny that people said they switched for better. better prices.
Well, it might be the same. Yes, it might be the same people that are saying that
Oh man.
iOS is a better price than Android phones. Still, it's like, okay, there's a lot of weird people around. You
Gary Brown said he thinks Motorola overnights the phone too.
Okay, well, good.
Let me see. It says 47% of people who switched from Android to iOS said they did so because of a better user experience.
And
So
that backs up what you always say.
yeah, I was telling Mike this morning. I don't know if you ever used the app called Slice. It's kind of like a tracking app where it'll track your
Yeah,
packages.
yeah,
If
I've heard
you,
of it.
I've used it on Android and I've tried to like scan a label and
Uh-huh.
it'll tell me you have to download barcode scanner. On the iPhone,
Okay.
you just scan it and it just puts it right. Like you don't have to do nothing.
Okay.
Even just like
Yeah.
I think it was on YouTube. Somebody was saying with the even with like a note phone,
Right.
when you're trying to fill out for something or sign a PDF, you have to
Hmm.
download Adobe Fill and Sign or Adobe to pull up the
Yeah.
PDF to sign it. On
And I
iPhone,
know
you can
that
just
aggravates the
open it
heck out
right
of
up.
me.
Yeah, it's like simple. The phone comes with a pen. Why do I gotta? Why isn't everything installed already? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Oh, but speaking of our previous, Alan from PhoneSec said Verizon sent him his. So better customer service.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, but if you look at it that way, because he RMA'd his Pixel. So let's say you RMA an iPhone. Does Verizon still send it to you, or do they send you to Apple? I wonder how that works.
I don't
If
know.
you buy your iPhone from the carrier, I think they
Right.
send you to Apple. I don't
Yeah,
think
I would
like
think so
AT
too.
and T would handle it.
I would think as a customer, they'd want to send you to Apple because that's going to be your quickest way to get your phone. You know.
Yeah, and they don't have to deal with you. They
Well,
don't got to deal
true.
with you. But I guess if it's Samsung, because I know like if I when I had issues when I had Samsung phones before I started getting them just unlocked,
Right.
AT&T would send me to like a store that probably was like a half an hour from me. I would have to go
Right.
there and they would check over my phone. And
Right.
then if they couldn't fix it and they didn't have any in stock, I would go home with my phone and they would send me one. Usually it would take like 2 days and then I would send back the old one.
So
So
that's
maybe
like
that's
okay.
what they,
That's like okay. First, we're going to try this, and then if this doesn't work, we'll send you one. You know.
yeah, yeah. But there was no credit card hold or none of that. So that part
Right.
was good.
Right. But see, I wouldn't mind the credit card hold if I know I'm getting it overnighted. That's not going to bother me.
If I wouldn't mind a credit card hold if they were sending me a new phone. I don't want a refurbished phone
Well, okay.
because it look like they already have your information. They can just bill you if you don't send it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But let me see. 30% who left iOS and moved to Android did so for a better experience. So I guess those are the people who want customization. I guess.
Yeah. You would have to think that. Now, Ms. Lisa is saying Apple has so many people calling in or going in, they lock out of their Apple Store because I know Apple, you have to use your passwords for the App Store and all that. So you read that because you know more about this than I do
What
with
she
Apple.
said, according to the server, paid for by Apple. He said it's a fake survey, Munchie. Let me see what she said. Apple has so many people calling in or going in because they lock out their app store. Because I know Apple, you have to use your password for the app store and all. Oh, okay. She means like a lot of people a lot of people they get locked out of their phone. They forget you know what I mean? They forget their
Oh,
app
okay,
store
okay,
password, and they go into
okay.
the app store. They go into the Apple store for stuff like that.
Well, that would make sense, yeah, because that's probably going to be by far the quickest way to get it resolved.
Yeah, there was
And so
there was,
Munchie just doesn't believe the server is real,
yeah,
period.
there was a lady at my job. She forgot her I guess it was her, I don't know if it was her PIN number, I guess to open her phone. I think she had an iPhone 7.
Hmm.
She couldn't
Right.
open her phone. And if you put it in wrong too much, it'll be like, try
Oh,
again in
yeah,
30 seconds. Then it'll go
yeah,
try again. If you do it again, try again in 2 minutes. And that thing,
yeah.
her phone said like try again. It was like 2 weeks or something, her time, where she
You're
couldn't use
kidding.
the phone at all. Yeah, so she had to go to the Apple store
Well,
to
yeah,
get her phone unlocked.
two
It's pretty
weeks. How
scary.
many
If you
times did she
no,
try it, man?
I don't know if you have you seen the article a while ago. There was like somebody, their phone was like locked for like years. Like if you got kids and they keep typing in your password wrong, you'll be screwed.
Oh, okay, so it
You won't
just
be able to
keeps
use the
adding
phone
it.
forever.
It just keeps adding days, huh?
Yeah, it keeps adding time. Makes it makes it
Wow.
longer and longer. And here's the
Wow.
last line, George. Switching to iOS is also popular due to better features like the camera, design, and faster software updates.
And I'll
Yeah,
buy that for design, depending on who it is. And I'll buy that for updates for sure.
yeah, for the
But
updates.
the
Yeah,
camera, there's too many Android cameras nowadays that can beat Apple. 2 years ago, Apple could beat everybody, but nowadays there's 7 or 8 or 9 or more companies that can beat Apple's camera.
yeah. Apple's camera is just good enough. Like it's like I don't know. When I use the iPhone camera, I'll be like, well, the Pixel would have gave me a better picture. But is
Yeah,
it that important? You know what I
and,
mean? I'm like,
and
is it that
now,
important to?
you know, now with phones like the Xiaomi Mi 2 and the Essential and a whole bunch of other phones that are cheap, you can beat iPhone pictures. And I remember 2 years ago that definitely was not true. You know,
Yeah,
so things
this
have
is
changed, and I don't think Apple has lost any. I just think everybody, camera wise, is catching
everybody
up, and
got
they're
so much
catching up to
better.
everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? I think the difference is like I don't think most Apple people scrutinize their camera like Android people do
I
because
agree. I agree 100%. Yeah.
Android has so much competition. Like I was telling
Yeah.
I think I was talking to Mike App or Kirk. Android like Samsung, they need to compete with OnePlus and
Yeah.
with LG
Yeah.
and Google. I don't know
And now
why
they've
they
got to
try so
compete with
hard.
Xiaomi and Essential, and you know.
Yeah, I don't know why they try so hard to compete with Apple when, if you think about it, most people aren't gonna. Well, I mean, this article says kind of different, but most people they know they want an iPhone. They want an iPhone.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna say I'm gonna just you know what I mean on a whim jump from iPhone to Samsung.
Right.
Samsung needs to worry about all the other companies who are coming with a
Well,
better camera or a better experience that are Android that are competing with them, like
well,
OnePlus,
it's
at
like
half
me
the
as a
price.
sports fan. What's my favorite sport? Well, racing. How often have I seen in racing, the guy in number two position, he is charging hard for half the race to try to get that first position. All of a sudden, he's got five guys on his tail that he's got to worry about and look in his mirrors. I think that's where Samsung is. You know.
Yeah, see, Munchie, Munchie said that's the beauty of Android. So much competition.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
that's true.
Here we go. What's this thing say? Here we go, George. It says when they asked the people who made the switch or considered switching, most said they don't care about the release of a new phone. 56%. 34% buy a newly released phone when their contract is up,
Right.
and 17% purchase a phone only when they break the screen on the current phone.
Yeah.
In
I'll
fact,
bet you that's much more true of iOS users as far as not buying a new phone because it's a new phone. But I think Android users overall are much more into getting that latest phone. Apple users, and
yeah,
and it's because of what you always say. If you're gonna get updates for 5 years, I don't need a new phone. You know.
yeah. Yeah, if you looked in the comments on here, some of these people said they're still using iPhone 6s,
Yeah, exactly.
5Cs.
And I
Yeah,
can
they
see
said they
that.
still work. So,
Yeah, yeah. I had somebody at work 3 weeks ago. They still have their 5C. You know. And they're still getting
yeah,
updates. Yeah,
yeah, it's just the tech people who want who want to get
yeah,
the latest phone.
and I think it's much more Android people. You know.
Yeah, because Android has a new phone like every 2 weeks.
Exactly, exactly. That's true.
Like look at
But I,
Samsung, they just
but in
hmm?
Android's credit, a lot of those new phones are every 2 weeks. They keep getting better and better and better. I
Yeah,
got to give them credit for that. You know.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay.
They just come out with them so often. It's like you gotta, you always feel like you're missing something, so you
Yeah,
gotta keep
exactly,
up.
exactly. Now let me pick this case off of this
I know
phone.
George. What's that thing that got me pretty down? I see Google hasn't mentioned RCS at
No,
all.
they haven't brought it up at all. You have talked about more about RCS. I've heard more from you
Then
about
Google,
RCS than I've read
then Google
anywhere
did.
on the internet. You know,
Yeah, nobody's even mentioned it. That's crazy.
I
Google's
mean,
got too much
Android
stuff
Central
going on.
mentioned it a few times, but it seems like it's one of your sore points. And
Yeah,
and
because
I can understand why.
that's one of the reasons that I like iPhone, because I'm able to see, well, not with everybody, but with people who have an iPhone, I'm able to see when they get the message, when they read it, when they
Yeah,
respond or don't respond. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I
Now,
would
of course,
think if Google would have brought that to Android, it would be more people that I'll be able to see that with if it was universal, like they're
yeah,
saying. But
that's
it
true.
looks like it's nothing's coming. It's been since April, I think, when that mystery article came out or
Yeah,
whatever.
and then nothing. Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
isn't that typical of Google though? Really?
yeah, as disappointing as it is, yeah, they got too much stuff going on.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
got they got
Um,
way too many things.
Now you have to expect when I do get around to getting an iPhone, who am I going to bug a lot?
Oh, you
Well,
can bug me all
who
the
am I
time.
going to be FaceTiming with? Now,
You
who am
can,
I going to be sending text messages? Well,
you can,
you know who that is, and you're sitting there.
you can bug me all the time. That's how Mike is.
Okay.
Mike will be like, "How do you do this?" He gets so frustrated. I'm like, "You just got to take your time." He texted me this morning. He was
Yeah.
like, "I'm starting to like this phone. What's happening to me?" I said, "Yeah, I told you."
What did I say a couple of weeks ago? I said Mike is turning into Adam, and Adam is turning into Mike.
Yeah, he said I'm starting to like this phone. It's a good phone. I think it
Yeah.
might be worth the price. I said, "Yeah, I told you."
Well, see, this is what I always tell people. Even though I've always been an Android, I tell if you want a phone that just works, get an iPhone because
Yeah,
that's the truth.
yes.
You know.
Yeah, you get all Micah. He posted on Twitter. He said, wait, now I see it. The Google apps are better on on iPhone. I said,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's what you said. Yeah.
I said they are. It's like they care more when they put the app on
Right.
iPhone than they do when they
Now,
make
of
it to
course, the
Android.
biggest benefit that you'll get out of me getting an iPhone is you'll be exercising a lot more because it'd be real easy for me to bug you.
Nah, listen. No, wait, George. I'll tell you what'll do it. If you get an iPhone, and
Yeah.
then we got to work on you get George an Apple Watch fund,
No,
because
that ain't
I'll
happening.
be
That
listen,
is
George,
not
listen,
happening.
listen, listen, listen. I'll be able to share the workout data with you. So I'll see you closing your rings because you always work out. Then
You
I'll be
have
interested in closing my rings.
one problem. You have one problem here. Here, I'm going to turn the camera. Okay.
No, I know. Listen,
See where
you
the
got
camera's
all that.
pointed to the other side. See
Yeah,
all that exercise
you
equipment?
you got
George,
all that stuff,
yeah,
but you
George
keep
does
me
not
motivated to
share.
go.
I don't share data with anybody because I have all this equipment because I realized years ago I don't like going to the gym. I need nobody to encourage me ever. So
Well,
I
you'll
don't
be
need to share any data with
You'll
anybody.
be you'll be encouraging me because I'll just see your rings closed. See, it'll just show me. It'll
What,
say George
anyway, what
burned
are
this
the
many
rings? I don't know what the
calories.
rings even are.
Um, Let me see if I can show you. It'll tell me like it'll have three rings.
I'm
Look,
seeing myself as
can
being
you
Lord of the Rings or something.
can you see it? Wait, I know it's
Yes, I see
bright.
it.
You see
Okay.
the rings, right? Those rings. It has like a ring for. Wait, it has a ring for activity, a ring
Okay.
for calories, and a ring for standing up. So as you exercise, those rings close,
They
and
have a
it'll
ring for
track it.
standing up.
Yeah, because they try to encourage you to stand up at least, I think it's 12 times a day or something. I don't know. I guess
What
some
that
people
says
don't
to
move
me
at
is
all.
people are so freaking
Yeah,
lazy they don't even
yeah.
have a ring. But I mean, come on.
I guess some people. I guess some people don't move at all. But
Yeah.
and then what happens is if you share them, like I'll be able to see your rings that if you closed your rings that day, and it'll tell me how many calories. So that's like a
That,
way to motivate the other person.
now, the way I'm interpreting this, now I share them, and here's this clown now part of a three-ring circus. That's what it is. Okay.
That was a good one, George, because it's got
Well,
three rings.
that's it, man.
That was a good one.
I
Oh
never
man.
needed a workout partner. I never need to share him. I don't need. I encourage. You know what makes me exercise 7 days a week?
What?
Getting ready to go in the shower. That's all it. That's all I need. That pushes me every time. Okay, and being 73 years old, I intend to play tennis for my 100th birthday. I intend to keep that promise. I can't do that unless I keep doing what I'm doing. I don't need any other encouragement. You know.
Yeah, man. But yeah, we got.
And let's suppose I started sharing data with you. I
Yeah, I'd see
exercise.
how much.
the only day nowadays that I don't exercise is Friday
I know,
because I go
Georgia.
straight from work to here. The rest of the time, I'm exercising every single day. Now, just think about it. I'm sharing my data with you, and you're going to feel bad that this 73-year-old old fart is not exercising.
I know you might make me. It's either gonna make me depressed or I'm gonna lose a lot of weight.
Yeah, and I don't want to make you depressed. Now, I give Tony Pazzo credit because my standard is 20-mile bicycle rides. Well, this guy goes out and rides 27 miles and makes me look like nothing. Good for him. You know,
Dang, y'all make me want to go get a bike.
hey, but
That
I
might be the
find
thing to do.
for me, I know swimming is the most efficient exercise you can do for your body, but for me, next to swimming, it's bicycle riding. That's where I burn by far the most calories. Now, I couldn't do it if I was only riding 10 miles, but riding 20 miles, I burn a lot of calories, and it works for me. You know, everybody's not the same, but that's what works for me. And of
Well,
course,
see,
I've got 38 years of experience with exercise now, so I know what works for me. You know.
I was about to say, what do you do in the winter?
Oh, I do everything in this room. You know, keep in mind, I've got 10 pieces of equipment. I've got my heavy bag. I've got 2 stationary
Yeah, I
bikes.
saw that you've got a heavy bag. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've had that for probably 20 years now. When I was 55, when I was still in Orlando, I got to, okay, you're 55. It's time for you to make a bucket list. So I did. Well, motorcycle was on that bucket list, but one of the things on that bucket list was I always wanted to box with professionals. Well, it just happened that the female world champs gym was in Orlando. Well, I found that you could just pay a monthly fee and go work out that gym every day. So I went out and worked with pros every day at 55. I didn't tell you about the time I got in with the trainer.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were telling us that
Yeah,
last week. Now
yeah.
wait, George,
He made
you
me
didn't
see
get a.
stars, but a 55-year-old man got a good left hook on him and rocked him. So that made me feel good. That was worth seeing stars, you know.
Now wait, you didn't get a motorcycle until you were 55.
No. I had a motorcycle when I was in 1966 and 67.
Oh,
I had
okay. I
two.
thought you said
Okay.
55
But
you started.
then I didn't get another one until 2000. And that's when I started riding. And that's when I knew I was a biker for life. And the only reason I got that my wife allowed me to get the motorcycle because I was going to the gym every day for 8 months. And I think she finally figured out it was probably safer to have me riding a motorcycle than to getting in there with pros, you know.
Yeah, yeah. That man, I'm telling you, you motivate me, man.
Well, I'm a big believer in pushing myself, and I'm a big believer in I look at other Americans, I don't want to be them. And the only difference between me and most American people my age, they're just lazy. That's all it is. There's nothing special about me. Anybody can do what I do. You know, just
Yeah,
like years ago when I first started school for program, I was working all day, going to school at night. All of a sudden, I couldn't find time to exercise. I'm in my 30s then. And I finally said, okay, do you want to exercise or don't you? Well, I used to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Well, I started getting up at 4:30 in the morning so I could do a half an hour exercise. Anybody can do that, you know.
well, you be killing it, George. You really do. I'm
I'm
working on it.
just,
I'm trying to get like you, George. I'm
I'm
trying.
every time you send me a picture, I am proud of you, you know,
If I
and
get
I'm
in an hour,
encouraged that
if
you
I
do
get
it.
in an hour a day, I'm doing good.
Yeah, and I agree 100%. And I have very few greater pleasures than you and a few of my subscribers telling me I inspire them or I inspire their wife, and that makes me feel great because that's what it's all about for me. You know.
Yeah, you be killing it, man. Yeah, I
Yeah.
seen that picture of the heavy bag. I was like, George really be,
Well,
man.
see, if people that don't box, if you pros, they usually do 3 minutes on the heavy bag. Well, 3 minutes is very hard to do on a
Yeah,
heavy
it's a
bag
lot. Yeah.
if you're really giving it all you got. I can do about 2 to 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and I have worked up a sweat that it would take me 45 minutes to on that bicycle, you know.
Yeah.
And then I come in here and I exercise some more. You know.
Dang, George. That's
Well,
man. That's
if I'm going to do the heavy break, I want to work up the sweat first, and then I'll come in here and do a half an hour or 40 minutes on the bike, you know, and then I'll finish up and do my floor exercises. And then I have 2 days a week where I lift weights, and I'm thinking maybe I need to increase that to 3, but we'll see. So,
Dang, George, you need to make a YouTube just on exercising, George. That's what you.
You know, years ago, 15 years ago, I thought about going to school to become a personal trainer, and then I finally decided I just didn't have the time to do that. And now, of course, YouTube takes all of my time. That video I put up yesterday with the Xiaomi Mi A1 compared to the which one did I put up? Compared to the Nokia 6.1. I was 10 o'clock, 5 minutes after 10, I finally got that because it took me 4 hours to do all the editing for that thing. So with YouTube, there's no time for anything besides exercising and that. You know. So now, this is what you wanted to talk about also, right? The essential phone.
Yeah.
Right? And my impressions of the essential phone. Now, what you wrote on here was my take on the essential phone experience. I don't really have a take yet because I'm just getting started with phone comparisons. I want to do at least 2 or 3 with the essential itself. And right now, I did a phone comparison yesterday with the Mi A1, and I'll be doing another one with the Sony and Mi A2 and the Sony. So by Sunday or Tuesday, I'll do one with the essential, and hopefully I'll be able to get this back to Mike in a month. You know,
that build is nice, right?
The build is awesome. This thing feels really good. It feels, but I have to say, it sometimes feels a little brickish. Am I making sense?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it's to me. I think I liked it because it took me back to the iPhone 4S. That feeling.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is? It feels really solid, but for a phone this size, it feels really heavy too in your hand compared to everything else. You know?
Yeah, because everybody else is trying to make their phones lighter. Exactly. I know they're saying that the Note is supposed to be heavy, but I mean, it's bigger than that phone, so it should be.
But yeah, it's a great premium feeling. It feels awesome in your hand. I'm not sold on the cameras yet, but my first comparison with the Xiaomi Mi A2, I was pleasantly surprised with the essential phone. I didn't think I'd like the pictures.
Oh man, George!
But I have not done any. All I've done is still photos. I haven't done any video tests with it yet, and that's going to be probably the determining factor. And seeing how the microphones and all that stuff are. Like I know with iPhones, microphones are always terrible compared to Android phones. You know.
Yeah.
So
if it goes down to 1 something for it new, maybe I'll pick it up. But it would have to go down to like 150.
I'm thinking with the essential phone for $225. Yeah, I'd say it's worth that. For $250, yeah, I'd say it's worth that. Is it worth $300? Not to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything from $250 down, yeah, I'd say yeah, it's worth picking up. So far, you know.
Adam said we don't need Mike anymore because I'm hosting.
Oh boy.
Nah, we need Mike. Mike referees.
Yeah, let's stay out of that brother to brother stuff. Okay, that they've been fighting it out since they were kids. They can fight it out without us. Okay.
Oh man. Yeah, what's going on, Adam? We ain't seen you in a while. How's that G7 doing? But yeah, I don't know. Let me see. We got anything else?
No, I think that's it. Except I need to tell Adam, I'm almost there with the OBS, and I'm almost ready to order my Stream Deck. So we'll see soon.
Now, is he going to show you how to do all that? What do y'all
everything most of what I've learned. I mean, I know how to bring up OBS and start a recording, but I didn't know how to bring in a Hangout and all that stuff. He sent me all that. First, he sent me an email to help me, and then he made a private video just for me so I could watch it, and he showed it on screen as he did it. So he may have to show me the final step if he ever has time, but we'll see how that goes. But I'm getting real close.
So the OBS thing, would you say you can put? How does it work again? You still stream. But what does it let you do? You can put like what, green screen in the background? I don't understand.
Well, you can put a green screen in the background with anything, but no. Let me. Oh, it's called Open Broadcaster something. I
Yeah, I
forgot what
remember
it's.
you had told me about it, so I googled it earlier and was just skimming
Okay,
through some.
right. It's a way to just have a ton more control when you, and keep in mind, I think more gamers use OBS than anything else. But it's a way to have a lot more control over what you're broadcasting. Whether it's YouTube, whether it's gaming, whether it's Twitch, you and you can put up multiple windows and have all different things. You could have up 6 windows and doing 6 different things at the same time. You can't do that with anything else that I know of. And OBS is free. You know. So
He
anyway,
Adam said, did you install the virtual camera?
yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I've got that working just fine. It's just I still think I don't quite have bringing the Hangout into OBS properly. So I'm thinking, Adam, and this is the old man begging again. I'm thinking what you may have to do is make me one more video going from the point that you bring in the virtual camera and bring in the Hangout to show me how it looks in the final result, because I'm missing something in that. So,
Now,
anyway,
now, George, I feel dumb now. Okay, you're saying bring in the virtual camera and bring
right,
in the Hangout. So what do you
right,
mean? Like, okay, me and you were talking on Hangouts live. So when
right.
you put OBS, what is that? Like, I don't understand. What does that do?
Okay, so then I can take this Hangout that we're on right now, this live stream, and put
Yeah.
it into OBS. Well, then I could put my banner at the bottom of it. I could put the chat up
Okay, okay,
in it.
okay.
I could have the chat scrolling in it, stuff like that. And of course, all the fancy stuff that Adam does too. You know, he just opens
Oh,
another window and it's in the middle of him and Mike. Well, I can do that too. You know.
so you're going to be able to do that in the middle of our Hangouts.
Yes, yes. When I learn it well enough, don't
In the
hold your breath.
Hangouts, or you'll be able to do it like with your videos, right? Like when you're doing a video, you'll be able to.
Yes, yes.
Okay, now I see.
Well, no, I'll be able to do it with a stream,
Oh,
video
only
and
on
make
live
it.
streams.
Yeah, I don't think OBS is for making your home videos. It's for
Okay.
streaming and
For
gaming.
live streams.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Mike is
So,
there. Okay. Mike just popped in the room.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, now I see. I'm gonna have to check on that OBS, whatever y'all be talking about.
Okay,
I don't know
Adam
if
is saying, let me know if you have any questions. I'll hook you up. Adam, I think what I'll do is I'll try to type out my questions in an email and send them to you. And whenever you have time. So Mike is here.
Yeah.
He's
What's up, Mike?
hopping
How's the
on.
vacation going? What are you eating?
He's saying dinner in Virginia Beach right now. Okay.
Where's your pictures at? I ain't seen no pictures.
Yeah. Should be a
Post some-
video up by now, at least part of the way, right?
I told him to put some 4K or something.
Yeah.
He's letting us down.
Well, I mean, he's on vacation. He doesn't really care.
He's enjoying that vacation time, right?
Exactly.
He said that. He said that job is. He's been working. He's been getting
Oh,
into
yeah.
overtime. So.
But see, I'm thinking with the kind of job he has now, and it sounds like it's challenging and it's hard, and
Yeah.
to me, that's rewarding. I find that very rewarding. That's why one reason I find YouTube so rewarding, because there's so many things to learn, and when you get it, it feels good.
Yeah, I think he likes it. I think he likes it. It was like a challenge. So.
Yeah, exactly. Time for the next step. When you stand still, you're doing nothing, in my opinion. Yeah, so you always should be going on to the next. You should always be learning something. You should always be growing. Or what's the point?
That's why the Apple Watch tells you to stand up, George.
Here we go. Hey, but
when
you know what's
still,
ironic?
nothing.
Do you know what's ironic about all this? I'm known as the workout junkie and all that stuff. Do you know who sits down more often every chance he gets than anybody I know? Me.
You? Well, I'm saying you move too much as it is, so you deserve to sit down a little bit.
Because my wife can tell you every chance I get to sit down, I'm sitting down.
I mean, you must have some nice lazy boys and all kind of
I have a nice couch that I can lean back and stretch out, and my legs pop out, and I get comfortable
Yeah.
real easily. You know, but as hard as I work, and I'm known as have a very strong work ethic. I know how to
Uh-huh.
relax big time. Put a Formula One race in front of me on the TV, I'm not going nowhere, and I'm not moving. You know,
Oh man, you can watch that. I can't even watch it. I'll
that's
be
my
so
it's my
confused
it's my favorite sport in the world.
because they got like points and stuff, right? I don't even know how it works.
Well, I've been following it for years. I was a NASCAR fan for about 20 some years, and then I finally got tired of watching yellow flags. There's a crash, and now you're
That's
watching them drive around behind a car for 20 laps. And I finally said, I'm not watching this anymore. And Jeff Gordon retired anyway. So.
oh, he retired.
He retired 3 years ago. Yeah.
Ah, okay. I know.
So
I never used to really follow it, but I used to always hear like Dale Earnhardt. I know he died.
Dale Jr. retired last year. So there's no more Dale Earnhardt's in it, and there's no more Jeff Gordon's in it.
Yeah. Oh, so Jeff Gordon's going. Did Dale Earnhardt? I think his son probably retired too, right? Wasn't his
He
son
retired
racing?
last year. Yeah, he retired last
Yeah.
year.
So who's the famous person in there now?
Oh, there's a bunch of really good drivers. Really good. Well, I guess Jimmy Johnson's probably the best because he's won 6 championships. Jeff Gordon only ever won 4. So Jimmy Johnson only needs 1 to tie Dale Earnhardt for all time. So he'd be the guy.
George, Mike said, "How's the fun going for your iPhone?" I'm telling you, Mike, George hasn't bought nothing yet because he's trying to
No,
wait until we
I am
find a buy
waiting for
one
a
get one.
mobile deal, Mike, and you and I will split.
We got
When
to
that
find a buy one
happens,
get one on T-Mobile, and then we'll
yeah,
get you off a jump, Mike, and you'll
when
do the
that
buy one
happens,
get
I
one.
will get the iPhone. I promise. When we can have our BOGO deal.
Yeah, that's
Anyway,
what we're waiting for, Mike.
I guess we're about done, aren't we?
Yeah, I guess. Oh wait, let me see. Adam said, what did he say? If we do the weight loss by net loss and not percentage, I'm in. He'll destroy.
Yeah, but there's only one problem there, Adam. You'd lose your identity because how the heck could a skinny guy be called Corpulent Geek? I mean, come on.
Oh
He'd
man.
have to start all new channels and everything.
We gotta put a time limit, like 8 weeks or.
Oh yeah, I guess Munchie's an F1 fan too, a Formula One fan. He says break at F1 right now, Vettel versus Hamilton. He's right. The 2 guys vying for the championship, Sebastian Vettel and Hamilton, and this is their 3-week summer break, which ends this week. So starting Friday, I'll be watching F1 again. And my wife knows when there's a Formula One race on, you can't move me. I'm not moving. All right, you folks didn't tune in to hear about me being a fan of Formula One.
Yep. Now wait, George. So next week we got to figure out how we're doing this.
Yeah,
Mike should be back next week. It's
right.
up
So
to
I'm
you and
thinking
Mike, whoever
Mike's
wants to run it.
probably going to want to be the one next week because it went from me to you. So logically, it should be him. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll talk about it this week, folks, and next week it'll either be coming. The Friday Night Tech Talk will be from Mike's Simply Your Device channel or from Mobile Geezer, but we'll let you know in the week.
And I think Mike said he's going to try to go on Wednesday from vacation. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Well, he's got. Yeah, Mike has Adam. You can do almost anything if you got Adam on your side. I mean, come on.
Yeah, right.
I could.
Telling you,
I could.
George, if
I
you
could
see that studio.
I could probably sit here and levitate if I had Adam working the controls.
You see that studio? It looks like you walked into a news broadcast.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Crazy.
And there's always a new sound for breaking news and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, right. He got sound banners, all kind of camera cuts. He's got everything.
He's going to become the ultimate producer. He's going to get famous and drag Mike along with him.
I'm telling you. You see that, Mike? Mike got him into it, and Adam took over with that.
Yep.
With all that stuff. Yeah.
But they work well together. You got to say.
Yeah. See, Mike's lucky he had that in his back pocket. He didn't tell nobody when he started with YouTube.
See, I could just see him telling you, "Hey, I got a brother."
Yeah. he's got one of the brothers. Oh God. George, Mike said, Mike, Adam said if you want to do a hangout with him afterwards to talk about OBS, he said feel free.
Tonight, I think I'm too beat, but I will definitely send you an email telling you what my issues are and then work it out with you if you don't mind, Adam.
All right. Well, I guess that's all we got, George.
All right. So thank you, folks, for watching. Thanks all of you who joined in, and we should all congratulate Will on his very first live
And I don't got no
stream.
super chat, so y'all don't gotta send me a dime.
But he did a great job, and he came up with the topics for tonight. So I think all around that he did way better than I could have done for a first stream, and I think he deserves credit. So
you taught me well, George. You taught me well.
Do our best.
Yeah. All right, y'all. See everybody. I guess Wednesday for Mike's stream.
Yeah, you see Adam and Mike on Wednesday, and you'll see us back next Friday, probably from Simply Your Device.
Yep. All right. Good night.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. Good night.